Hey everybody. Hi everyone. Welcome to FND POD. This is episode 74. And Aaron, I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Can you just go ahead and look right here? Can you just go ahead and look right there? Tell me about yourself.
Is it funny that I was man, you beat me to it, but I was going to say, who are you? What's your name?
So we watched the film Cure.
For anybody who, there's a couple films, Cure films, but the one that is the most notable is the 97 psychological horror film from Japan called Cure.
By Kiyoshi Kurosawa.
And that is the movie of the week, everybody.
Did you add in our notes no relation to Akira Kurosawa?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because I
actually, when I saw that at first, I was curious if there was, and so I looked into it. We've been kind of on a little horror kick, especially next week. We're planning on doing Weapons, and it's not even October.
Are you saying Jaws is a horror film?
I think Jaws is considered a horror film.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. It's not really a psychological thriller. Or
I mean, it's not like a strict horror film, but I would say that, I don't know, suspense.
Yeah, it's just people
Thriller.
always also consider like a summer blockbuster, so you don't typically.
Cure is considered a horror film, but is it really?
It just depends how much of a big baby you are.
Oh no!
How scared you get over.
Yeah, it made me a little scared. I'll say that.
Did it make you scared or did it make you unsettled?
Unsettled for sure.
Both. Okay,
Uneasy.
So this film is about a frustrated detective. He's dealing with the case of several gruesome murders committed by people who have no recollection of what they've done. That's what the film's about.
Yeah, he basically comes across several people who have just created or just completed heinous murders, and they're like, I don't remember doing it. I don't know what you're talking about. And then as he progresses through his case, he meets who I thought was like brilliant, the actor who plays
Mamiya.
Mamiya.
I don't know how you. Masato
Mamiya. I think it's
Hagiwara.
Mamiya.
By the way, I'm going to
Yes.
refer to our cheat sheet a lot because I have a hard time remembering Japanese names because we're not used to saying them. So my mind.
Yeah. Also, apologies if we get the pronunciations wrong.
Yeah.
We are trying.
Sorry.
But Mamiya, he stumbles upon this suspicious man who's brought into custody, and as they do, spoilers by the way, as
Immediate
always,
spoilers.
we're going to be.
Which, by the way,
dissecting this
I hope this episode gets traction because I don't know how many people have seen this film already.
It's excellent.
I
I know we're not jumping into the conclusions yet, but I just wanted to say how well done I think this film is. And it makes sense why a lot of the masters, a lot of the big directors now hail it as a masterpiece. It totally makes sense to me.
Can I really quick, Aaron? Can I tell you what some of the other people think on the other side of the spectrum?
Sure.
I went ahead and I searched out the lowest rating reviews on Letterboxd and Rotten Tomatoes because you never know if this film is just sort of like a film snob jerk-off movie.
Okay.
So let me just say, so it's unsatisfying as a story precisely because it aspires to create a mounting sense of dread by enlarging questions rather than answering them, which I think was kind of the point. That's from Jonathan Rosenbaum on Rotten Tomatoes, another Rotten Tomatoes reviewer. The approach is not especially a deep one, and in Cure, it's given more deliberation than it can bear. I'm not even quite sure what that means. That's Jake Euchre on Rotten Tomatoes. Too shallow to enthrall, and it lacks the visceral energy to sustain itself as a genre piece. David Luddy.
Hard disagree.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Letterboxd ones. This is from Jane on Letterboxd. Ain't no way y'all are hyping this absolute piece of crap. Don't waste your time. You're welcome. Very boring with no payoff. Libby on Letterboxd. Cure me from the boredom this film has brought. 4.3 average is crazy, utter woke nonsense. It's rated ridiculously high, and the level of glazing is insane. This snooze fest made me want to put an X in my own neck. Someone said, here, I got two more. Someone said, mesmerizing, amazing cinematography. The villain was stellar. Sadly, a real-life monkey was chained and caged for one shot of the movie, so fuck you all. I am mad. This is the kind of stuff that makes me hate movies. And then someone said, sorry, this movie is freaking cheeks, bro. Which
Cheeks?
Cheeks. I don't...
Oh, ass? Is that just another way of saying
yeah, okay,
ass?
I guess it's ass. So...
Well, why wouldn't you just say ass?
Because lingo must become further
evolve.
extrapolated into something else.
Yeah.
It has to evolve. So, Aaron, before we go and say how great this movie was, I just wanted to have the other side.
That's good.
you
No,
know.
we got kind of the whole spectrum. We got some professional critics. We got some armchair critics. So,
Yeah, I wanted
Interesting.
all opinions to be represented before we get into this.
as is with most films or most art, that's the beauty of it, is that you're going to have people on all sides.
Yeah.
You're going to have people that love it and they hate it. And this just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think you made a masterpiece or you did make a masterpiece, because it might not be in somebody else's eyes.
But what matters is that Martin Scorsese liked the film.
And Bong Joon-ho.
And so if they like it and you didn't, clearly you're wrong.
You're wrong. Have you heard of this guy Scorsese? Have you seen the movies he's made?
Okay,
You're wrong.
Let me ask you, Aaron, when you were stepping into the world of Cure, did you go into this film knowing what it was about?
I didn't know anything. I knew that I had found it on Letterboxd, or maybe heard it referenced and added it to my Letterboxd watch list a long time ago. And so when you brought it up and you're like, oh, I think we should watch Cure, I was like, oh, well, I've been wanting to see that, but I knew very little. Okay. And then I said, well, should I prepare myself? And then I was like, no, you know what? Just like Weapons last week, which we'll talk about soon, I'm like, you know what? I just kind of want to go in really cold.
That's the best
way.
way.
I didn't read much about Weapons other than the trailer I saw. I was like, I don't want to know anything else. I was like, this teed it up perfectly. This is like, I have just a sense of what this might be. And I'm kind of preferring that way, honestly.
I love that way. That's how I remember watching Apocalypto. I went to Apocalypto that way.
Just totally dark.
Yeah, which was that's a very long ago callback to a film.
I think if I can shout out our
and Children of Men too. I remember going into Children of Men that way.
That'd be a great one to do that with. Yeah.
I
think I want to shout out our old AV teacher, Mr. Kirtley.
Casey Kirtley.
Because I remember growing up, he wouldn't even watch trailers. And to me, I was like, well, how do you even find out what movies you want to watch? Like, that's the way that you like learn about what you're going to be interested in. But he would like only watch movies like totally cold. Just like, I don't want to know anything. And I'm starting to appreciate that more now, because now with the internet and with social media, it's like you can't escape it. Before something comes out, you're getting hit with so many reviews and like opinions
and memes.
It's like clickbaity headlines. It's like people are just telling you what to think about something before you form your own opinion. And I hope we do. I hope culture reverses in that regard. I want to know more. I want to go into things.
Aaron, you're telling me
more.
when you turn on a YouTube video, you don't immediately scroll to the comments 5 seconds in to see what people are already saying about it to help you form.
Instagram's the same way. It's just,
Right.
I think they want it to be like that.
Wait, hold on. What others?
Wait, what do I think?
I got to make sure I prime my brain.
I don't want to have the wrong opinion.
That's a form of I think that's hypnotic.
A little hypnotic right there.
I mean, the film
Scroll.
medium itself. We could kind of get into all kinds of shit, but like the film medium
let's do it.
itself
But
is
first-
hypnotic.
But first,
What?
I want to circle back.
I also want to circle back. You go first,
No.
then I'll circle in.
We need to find some form here.
I know.
So what I was going to say before we got into all that is that the main detective, Koji
Takabe.
Yakusho, plays him. He plays Detective Takabe. And by the way, he's like a brilliant actor. You've seen 13 Assassins.
Yeah, it's been a minute though.
He's in 13 Assassins. Did you see the recent film by Wim Wenders, Perfect Days?
No.
Oh man,
Also,
it's a beautiful movie. Anybody, I would
Vendors.
Wim.
No, it's Vim. The W's are pronounced like V's.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's German.
Wim Wenders. Oh, he's German.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much more
Volkswagen.
sense.
It's not.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't spell it Volkswagen here.
Sorry,
But you're right. I didn't even realize that.
Really quick, I just want to say I'm not changing the subject, but the director he was saying how he didn't feel there were a lot of actors that could have sudden outbursts the way that he could. Jesus Christ, what is his name? Yakusho. Koji Yakusho. He didn't feel a lot of actors, and then who could also then in the scenes with his wife, he could be very loving and caring, and then he just gets a look, and he's like, "What's he looking at?" And he said he asked him to watch this film to prepare. Oh my God, what was it? Hold on, I gotta find it because this is good stuff. I have to find the thing. There's a film called And Life Goes On, which is apparently just a man just staring blankly at various situations he encounters.
That's the whole film?
I don't know. It's
experimental?
That's the way it might be. That's the way it was described in the conversation that they were having. But he said, "Hey, watch this film before we do this one." And it's just kind of a guy he's just in neutral expression in various circumstances.
Were they going with the Kalusha effect or whatever? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, and editing,
intercutting.
where it's you just show
Is it just a whole film
I think
based around that idea?
Perhaps. Anyway, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he was really solid. So, anyways, his character ends up meeting this other wandering kind of just kind of comes out of nowhere mysterious man who also was really, really great.
And that.
Mamiya.
And the director has also said he hasn't been able to work with that actor again because he can't see him other than Mamiya.
Oh, really?
He's like, I want to work with him, but I just can't see him as anything else now. And that guy also done a lot of Hagira Wara. I'm not saying that right. He was in a lot of criminal films.
Okay.
So
he's kind of been typecasted.
He's been typecasted, but this film, he needed to do something different.
Yeah.
He wanted to bring sort of what he'd been doing with the other films he'd been in. And Kurosawa was like, no, let's peel those layers back. And in a way, he sort of Mamiya'd the Mamiya to get him to be,
He was really chilling in this film.
Yeah.
Because they have these interactions where he's just so, he's just so the way he shifts the power dynamic so effortlessly it made me feel so uneasy, where they're trying to pry and it's he's and then he just so easily flips it back on them. He's no, I'm gonna talk about you. I was like, whoa.
That scene when he's in the police room with all of the sergeants and the one guy comes up to him, the tall stern guy, and then he gets upset. He's
I can't.
Yeah.
He breaks his brain, and then the dude just walks away. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, a couple things that I think we should talk about. While I was researching this after I watched, I found it really interesting. Wikipedia says that the film was originally titled Evangelist, but while they were shooting the movie, there was a terrorist attack on the subway, and it was this. I'm going to butcher the name. Shinrikyo. It was a religious cult, and they perpetrated the attack on the subway. They killed a bunch of people with this neurotoxin sarin. And during filming, they were worried that with the title being Evangelist, that people would try and connect it to some kind of religious cult thing. And so one of the producers suggested they change it to Cure.
Do you know why they probably would have called it Evangelist?
Yeah, that makes sense. And in fact, I find Cure to be more. It's not as a direct title to me. It's more thought provoking in that you'd have to kind of make your own interpretation.
Well, actually, Aaron, if you had known anything about Mesmer, you know who Franz Anton Mesmer is a real guy. He wasn't just made up in the film.
No, I know.
And mesmerizing is where it comes from. But his technique of hypnotizing people was known as the Cure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Because
believed.
I was gonna say, because before I didn't know that part of it, so I was thinking like, oh, okay, what would the film be alluding to? Is the cure the hypnotism, or is the cure
Yeah.
like trying to cure people of the hypnotism?
That's like when he was doing it, and when people were calling him a fraud, like Benjamin Franklin was like, "This guy's a fraud." It was
Yeah.
kind of colloquially known as, by way of his putting it out this way, the cure.
The cure,
Because he
okay.
thought we had these like invisible fluids, the animal magnetism. He thought we had these invisible fluids flowing through us, and when there's obstacles, that you put someone in a trance state, and then by bringing on a state of delirium or convulsions, you could break them out of that. What's also interesting about hypnotizing people in mesmerism is that it kind of started some early. This is a bit of a digression, but I just found it interesting. They would hypnotize like house slaves, and like then like a white person, and people would go, "Oh, look, it's all the same stuff under the hood. Like maybe we shouldn't be racist."
This is studies they did when.
I mean, whenever he was alive and doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people, they were doing the techniques, and they go, "Oh, look, it's all the same shit under the hood. If people can be hypnotized the same way," and so it began to bring out like abolitionist ideas into people.
Where the slave owner's like, no, let's get him out of here. We didn't know that was going to be the result. We don't want him to talk to anybody. Really quick, back to this. I don't know why I was like fixated on this chemical agent that was used during this terrorist attack. But like, if you read up on,
Isn't that what they use in Breaking Bad?
it might have been, but yeah, like
That's
sarin.
ricin.
Oh, ricin, yeah. Sarin, it says, is a nerve agent that is one of the most toxic of known chemical warfare agents. It's generally odorless and tasteless. Exposure to sarin can cause death in minutes. A fraction of an ounce, 1 to 10 milliliters, I'm assuming, of sarin on the skin can be fatal.
Oh, like, how do I get me some of that stuff?
So, like, terrifying.
No, that's like you probably like rub it on someone on the subway by accident. You put it on a rag. Oops, I grazed you with my rag,
And then you're dead.
my sarin rag. Okay, so they had to rename the film.
So they renamed the film. I mean, there's so much to say about this.
Where do you want to start?
Where do we want to start? I feel like
Well,
we covered
we can also
little
start
pieces of everything.
before we get into the film. We can also start by talking about the production company. Kiyoshi Kurosawa got to start doing a lot of they called it V cinema, which is direct-to-video cinema.
Okay.
In like the 90s. Well, so I guess he was doing commercial work in the 80s, and then he had like no work in the 90s, but then he picked up work doing like this, they call it V cinema again. It's like Japanese, deals with a lot of like it's like crime stuff, the Yakuza, like horror film type of stuff, really pulpy things. And so there was a 4-part film series called Revenge. So with the company he was with, they did Revenge 1 and 2, but then the company was failing. So they went to a larger production company called like Daiei, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. I saw that name.
And they're like, "Hey, can you help us produce Revenge 3 and 4? And Kurosawa was like, "But hey, also I got this idea for a film called," and he pitched Cure to them. Because he had a lot of time where he had no work and he was just coming up with all kinds of ideas. And so he pitched Cure, and they were like, "Hey, we really like that. So let's do that one first."
That's awesome. I saw that he was quoted as saying like that he had watched a lot of American horror movies growing up, and he was always interested in doing one. And when horror was kind of like on the rise in the 90s, I think that probably helped his cause because it was like more profitable. It was more, like companies were more interested in financing something like that.
Silence of the Lambs was an inspiration for this. He found that the villain, Hannibal Lecter, terrifying because he's already caught, and it's just him. The persuasiveness of his speech was obviously.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, when you view it through that lens. Is like there's a lot of similarities there. Okay, well that's interesting.
And then another.
So did Revenge 3 or 4 ever get made?
They did, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
And then another inspiration for Cure was he said he would like look at police reports, and people would, the neighbors of a murderer would go, "Oh, they were so nice. You never saw it coming." And then, so it's like, okay, well, they were never a nice person. They were a monster pretending to be nice. But what if you just flip that on its head? And it's like, what would drive a really, like a true, genuinely nice person to commit a murder? And he also says that's sort of a retrofitted response. He didn't have that refined of an idea when he was making the film, but as afterwards, he's like, "Oh, I guess that's kind of where I got the idea from."
It makes sense. I mean, I think in a lot of ways the film feels like it's kind of more about the, I don't know, the malaise of evil and doing evil things, you know? Like, and the film itself isn't even focused. It's not interested in showing the actual killing for the most part. It's always the aftermath where you're seeing it, you know? It's just like, it's not a person doing this brutal thing. It's a person has done this brutal thing, and more like more of the like society as a whole being like, why, you know, like people struggling to like why have you done this? You seemed so normal, or like this came out of nowhere.
So we could start there with that theme of the senselessness of crime, because there were some things in the film that I was trying to make sense of, in that people would get hypnotized and then they would do this awful thing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but some people would rationalize it and some people wouldn't. And
well, there's one the one police officer, of all the suspects was like, I didn't care for him. Like, I just didn't like this guy. He started working here 3 years ago.
Yeah. And I found that interesting that the one who, I don't know, like he would have the most like rational brain because they're like a police officer. Like in film world, they're supposed to be like the ones to make sense of things. And so, yeah, and then other characters, like the guy who kills his wife, he has a complete mental breakdown. He can't make sense of it.
Well, I took it as there's like this layer, this kind of a social construct or whatever that people have that's like just preventing everybody from doing like these awful things. And this hypnotism, whatever this guy like unleashes on people, is like just removing that filter, you know, even if it's briefly. So to me, it didn't matter that the police officer had ill will towards the other guy that he killed. He was never going to act on it, you could assume, until like this hypnotism took place, and then it was just like, I'm going to do it. Now, like why they put it in the film, I feel like it just could go to show that, like, yeah, there's some people that's like, hey, this was my loving husband or wife, and I did this, and I regret it, all the way to the other end where it's like, no, I hated this guy, and I killed him, but I don't remember killing him, and it wasn't not necessarily his intention to, you know?
Do you think the film is saying that everyone is capable of evil, or everyone has the evil already inside them, or everyone is capable of being bent towards that? Which I guess do you get the difference what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like I think we all everyone has a darkness in them. We all are capable of doing awful things, but yeah, I guess I'm trying to like figure out if it's like what he's trying to say. What's he trying to say, man?
Well, I mean, to bring up like a recent film, The Zone of Interest, which was a Holocaust film from a year or two ago.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the director kind of talks about like the banality of evil and how sometimes, you know, like humans can be so, like, it's just so benign, like just truly gruesome acts that we do to each other, you know, but they view it through the lens of just, you know, like as if they're not humans. And to me, I don't know what Cure was trying to say in that regard, whether, you know, it's like, oh, well, everybody is capable of doing. I think that most people would agree that that's the case, but I don't know that. I think it seemed to me more interested in it was like, would you say that the hypnotism was removing all, I mean, it was a type of amnesia, you know? So that's kind of what's weird to me. And that's why I bring up the police officer is it feels like a spell. It doesn't feel like, hey, you now have permission to act like your most primal self or something.
So it's less, you think it's less pulling back executive functions to reveal what's already there, and it's putting something there that's not even there to begin with.
I think so, because like I said, you've got the instance with the cop where there was clearly something there before and he killed him. But then you've got instances with like loving family members who would never, you would think would never commit something like that, and they do. Mm-hmm. And I think when you peel it back, you see like the common theme throughout is that they've all been hypnotized, by this guy, and the thought has been placed there. And again, this point of amnesia is like really important because it's like a window of time where they're totally absent from their own body. Mm-hmm. It's like they come out of it not knowing.
Dude, that scene when they're interrogating the cop and then he just goes into the trance state and he starts trying to cut the X on the guy's chest in the interrogation room.
Yeah.
That scene was like so cool.
Yeah. So in instances like that, you're like, and they do that throughout the film. There's points when the hallucinations are so strong, like when the main officer or the main detective, Takabe, comes back to find his wife hanging there, and he's just like so distraught, and he's down on his knees, and then in a flash, they cut to real life, and she's just like normal, just like, whoa, what's wrong? Oh man, something crazy must have happened at work, So like that is how it must be, is that you're just like transported. You have no bodily autonomy. You're just doing whatever you're told to do, and then boom, you're back.
I loved how they made it seem that even being in the presence of Mamiya had a hypnotic effect.
Well, they did that, and they conveyed that very well, even with how he was shot in the film.
Yeah, even because I think up until that point, the detective hadn't been caught in one of his like techniques with the lighter or the dripping water. It just was being around him and talking, then he would like talk in circles to get people out of the rational mind. Maybe, I don't know what the technique was supposed to be, but yeah, they made him seem. I liked how they made him seem almost supernatural. It kind of made it seem like, because they kept saying, "Oh, the devil made him do it." Like, "Oh, was this actually supposed to be supernatural force?" His origins are very unknown. Mm-hmm. So I love that.
Yeah, it was very creepy. He has this line in the film. He says something along the lines of, There's nothing left inside of me. It's all outside," or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so. He's like a shell.
Creepy.
But would you argue that towards the end, he's revealing it all to be
it's bullshit? That is bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
It's a put on. Yeah, that's a great question because I don't know.
Well, he seems to take pleasure in that, like, he knows that he lured the detective to the building at the very end. So like he's clearly, his amnesia is disappearing. And doesn't he say something along the lines of like, well, now you're here to serve your purpose, which, we can get into, but seems like he's forming memories when he wants to.
Yeah, and when I like how as they go into the film, they show his method more and more. Like obviously the first murder, you don't see him. The second one, when the husband kills the wife, he shows up on the beach and then he flicks a lighter and that's kind of it. And then when then there's the cop and then there's the doctor. When he's speaking to the doctor, he's full on saying, and you want to cut a man open. Mm-hmm, like he's just giving all the playbook is there.
But also, do you think that that's just because they showed his actual, like, what he was trying to get out of her, or did it work just that way because she was a doctor and actually had that past? Did he just somehow know that was her past, or was he implanting that? I wonder.
Well, what do you think he would have said to the other people?
I don't know, but towards the beginning, he start to... He definitely tries to form narratives, right? Even with the main detective, he's saying like, oh, it must be awful.
Tough with your wife.
Tough with your wife.
So we think that he gets people to reveal just enough about themselves.
He's like picking at wounds.
He uses their own information to construct a narrative so the suggestion actually implants.
That'd be my interpretation of kind of how he went about it.
So yeah, he's not, which makes it even, because I still him being like the amnesiatic how do you say that word? Amnesatic. patient.
Amnesia boy.
Him being an amnesia boy is so convincing that even when he kind of gives it up, like
You still start to wonder. You're like,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
And
it makes him seem more supernatural than anything.
yeah, it really does.
Go ahead.
I kind of wanted to circle to the beginning or the end of the film since we're already kind of there. What is your interpretation of the very end? You know, the last 3 to 5 minutes.
I'm gonna preface that with this: is that the director said in the original synopsis. Do you want to know what
Does he give it away? Does he just straight up say like?
Well, in the ending he has in the original synopsis was Takabe's wandering the same beach where you first see Mamiya.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's like he becomes.
I mean, that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
I guess it means. Well, I don't know. He's the new Mamiya. Yeah.
Do you think that that Mamiya had completed his transformation before he killed him, or was it the gramophone recording that did it, that he listens to after he killed him?
The gramophone has magic
gramophone
powers. It has like a Winter Soldier string of words that unlock, the Mamiya power.
Yeah, because that was, as the film would say, was Mesmer.
I don't know. I don't think that was Mesmer. It might have just been another.
Or was it the doctor from the videotape?
I think it was the doctor from the videotape.
Was that doctor is kind of like a stand-in for Mesmer, you think, or no? Somebody who would just follow the practices and then I gotcha.
Yeah, because when was Anton Mesmer was he died in 1815 and they
so
say
well before.
Yeah, because the film was like 1898 or something.
Yeah, okay,
so,
that makes sense.
Okay, I had another question. Do you think that because they talk about when you learn, which also was a very chilling scene when you learn when they do the X motion in the video and you learn like, oh, this is something that's been going on a long time.
That gave me Ring vibes, by the way. I think that was absolutely inspiration for Ring You. And
then you get a sense that, and then he talks about Mamiya talks about going out and like, he is like again the original title of the film, Evangelist. He's going out and like spreading the ritual. I think the doctor, the psychiatrist, says something about, he's like he's perpetuating this thing.
Yeah, because isn't he in a hypnotic state, and then he comes out of it saying he says a missionary.
That's right. Yeah. He says missionary, and even doing the X is sort of like the sign of the cross. It's like a perverted. It's like a perverted sign of the cross. Do you think that it was a government experiment and they try to cover it up, sort of like a MK Ultra thing, like a Japanese MK Ultra? Like was this government experiments to see if they can get people to do things, and then it got a little out of hand. It became a little culty, a little religious like, and then
if it was the intention, I don't see the connection in the film, but I mean it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But the deepest it goes, I think, in the film is just that it was obviously studied back in like the early 1900s by like this university in Japan. And then you could just assume that whether government or not, it was just perpetrated by believers in this technique who just kind of have kept it going since then. Or maybe it lay dormant for a long time, and then this guy picked it up and started reading through these old books. Which is also creepy, like he's kind of stumbling. Even when they go into his house, and it's just like, dozens and dozens of books on the topics and all these animals he's clearly been experimenting on. So you could see he just kind of like lost himself in it.
But, and again, I wonder if he truly had a mental crack or if it's all just a put on.
I think that makes it even creepier. I think that it's something that he was just willing to. It's kind of creepy when you think that he's willing to lose his life over it, but like the detective, it seems like he took on as his main, like that's his main project. Is like, if I die, I'm going to pass this on to this next guy, which in a weird way is like they were both each other's project, like mission. The guy, the Takabe wanted to, pull out his secrets, pull out the, who he really is, who Mamiya really is, but Mamiya really wanted to, pass along this evil power to him.
They're both trying to invert the other one.
Yeah.
Pull him inside out. Dude, how about that ending though? The pre-ending, when they're in the hospital and Mamiya's about to give his like bad guy speech and Takabe's like, no, fuck you. And he just shoots him. And then he's about to do the X thing and he just puts 5 rounds into his head.
Yeah. When he did that point blank, you could tell he's like, no, I've had it with you. I'm going to make sure you're not talking at all anymore.
Yeah.
Oof, brutal.
But again, influence.
But again, the way that even the violence is, other than the gunshots, there's not really physical violence in the film. Well, I think as aggressive.
Well, you see the guy he brains the prostitute right in the beginning, and then you see people get shot by.
That's true. I was gonna say other than the shooting. I guess you're right. I forgot about the very opening scene.
And dude, when the doctor's pulling the guy's skin off,
I kind of more so meant the actual act of the killing. Most of them, it's done. We just like come upon it.
I mean, even the gunshots, they're not that. It's sort of like
it's not
like
super graphic.
It's like old movie, like bang, guy falls directly down.
But that's kind of like that's probably more in line with how it is. I think blood sprays have gotten pretty egregious in films lately.
Yeah,
and so we're just not used to seeing like, oh, this guy got shot and he fell over. But I think that's probably how it's not like a Tarantino.
Well, it doesn't. Like, I mean, a little more of like a jerk with it was almost like a.
Have you been shot before? Have you been shot and killed?
I guess no. You're right. So what am I? What do I know,
dude?
What do I know?
We need an expert in here to tell us really what happens. Okay, I had a question.
Yeah.
There were 2 shots in the movie on the bus that seems to be floating through the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
What was your take on those? One Takabe is like transporting his wife to this mental institute. And then the next, I believe Takabe is visiting Mamiya at the abandoned warehouse.
Right.
And both of them, he seems to be on this bus where we don't see any other shots of it. But if you look out the windows, it seems to be it's like drifting through
clouds,
vague cloud environment.
I took that. I mean, when I first saw it, it seemed like a obvious visual device to make it seem dreamlike. And then I wondered, well, why? Is it because in this film you're wondering, is this really happening? How much of the character's psychological state is influencing the real world? Is that actually smoke behind the bus? Is that just like a weird, is it just a
really smoggy day out in Japan?
Or is the director trying to induce a dreamlike state to keep the viewer sort of in this state of mind?
I think that was the only 2 shots though that I found to be more fantastical, like that I didn't think that fit with the rest of the film.
I agree. It did seem
and
a
so
little
I would
strange.
have to look into it more because I didn't get a read on it while I was watching. I was just piqued my curiosity, but I wasn't like, oh, I know why they did this.
I don't know why they did that. It seemed odd. Seemed to me an odd choice.
Yeah, a lot of themes they play with in the film: memory, identity, order against chaos. Again, we get back to it, but it also, I feel like this also has similarities to like Batman versus Joker, especially in The Dark Knight. I was thinking that too.
Yeah, it's very much,
so much like you have like the guys like, I got all the brute force in the world to knock your teeth in, and the villain's just like, no, you don't got anything on me,
whatever, man. I'm not even here, man.
Which
I'm insane.
I'm insane. Yeah, which I thought was, I kind of wonder if that would be a reference or inspiration for that film, or that kind of archetype between those 2 characters.
Perhaps.
Because it definitely creates an interesting dynamic.
I mean, but then I was thinking, there's a lot of films with that, you know. Well, how many other films where there's a
that play with that. You're right. Yeah, there's probably stuff before that for sure.
Yeah, there's so many. But it did feel like pretty one-to-one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, the way Joker kind of gets people to act on their darkest inhibitions. Mamiya does the same thing.
Yep.
Batman has to take care of Alfred, who's aging. Mm-hmm. And so, no, actually, it's the opposite. Yeah. So
also, Batman not being able to control his cool, you know,
his rage.
like as a detective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think was very fitting.
Is that
for
a
the
Batman
film.
thing? I don't know. I feel like Batman's.
No, I'm just saying that's a thing in the film.
Uh-huh.
Like when he's interrogating Joker and they're trying to stop him and he
right.
lodges the chair in the door.
Yeah, and he starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even when like he throws the dude against the wall. Remember when Takabe throws Mamiya against the wall? Mm-hmm. You know, like clearly there's like a lot of order in the police, you know, like in Japan, where it's like they take that stuff very seriously because any outburst, like you see the other guy, he comes in and grabs him very quickly. It's like, no, we're not gonna. But yeah, when he throws him against the wall and everybody gets up, yeah, he's losing it.
It's because Mamiya reminds him of his wife.
Why couldn't you just cook the steak?
Quit turning the dryer on.
Oh, that's something I wanted to mention. The film's use of real world elements to create hypnotic effects, not just like for the characters in the film, but also for the viewer, I thought was brilliant. I thought it was so well done. I mean, even like as I was reflecting on the movie, and I thought in the very beginning, you have like the guy passing through the tunnel, and he just kind of stops to look at that blinking light. Mm-hmm. You know, and you're like, what's that all about? And then as the film progresses and they do more and more of that, you know, the washing machine sounds that just creates this kind of like hypnotic rhythm. Or loved that scene when he's speaking with the doctor and he tips the glass over and the water is just pooling down by the feet slowly.
Hey, fun fact about that scene, Aaron. They had to recreate the floor and tilt it to get the water to go where they wanted.
Oh, because it just would probably just pool right in the center because it was.
Yeah, in an interview, the director's like, you know, just to guys put it bluntly, like water doesn't do what you want it to do. And he said that also what was interesting about that is that they shot that in a real hospital and they couldn't smoke. They couldn't have him smoke, so I believe the water was improvised. They had to think of something else because they couldn't think of a rational reason for him to pull the lighter out. Even though he goes, you know, back then we were all smoking, so to pull a lighter out and just flick it was like kind of a mundane thing. But for whatever reason, they went with this like water thing, which was cool because it's
stuff that you don't. I would have never thought. It's like, oh, we're gonna redo the floor and
they had to redo it.
But it works so well. I mean, like as a viewer,
Mamiya has control of all the elements. Yeah. All the elements are all his Vim vendors.
Fire, water.
Anything, Aaron. Anything can be used to hypnotize.
If you've ever seen,
have you ever been masturbating and you got hypnotized to the rhythm of your own stroking?
Oh man, no.
Sorry.
Is it because that has a very rhythmic sound for you?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Just dirty, perverted thoughts. Sorry, let's move on.
Have you ever seen Stalker, Tarkovsky's film?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
We should do that one.
Okay.
I wanted to mention it because in similar ways, I think that like in little miniature versions in this film, it reminded me of Stalker because Stalker is very, very still and hypnotic and Russian.
Wait, is he Russian or is he like some other
Tarkovsky?
Yeah, right. He's Russian.
Yeah,
or some other Eastern European.
No, he's Russian. I think that like it dealt with that kind of calm and like very like unease. It reminded me a lot of Stalker because there's a lot of that, and I don't think it's as easy to pull off as people think. Like, for instance, the floor is like you think, oh, I'm just going to shoot something so simple and then it's going to have the desired effect. No, you know, like not if you want the water creeping across the floor like that. It's it's mesmerizing for a reason. It's not just simple all the time.
Did it seem like people were a little too easily swayed?
I think that's the power of Mamiya, right?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, the guy just turns the lighter on and they have that cool sound effect where it's like, and then they're just staring at it and they're immediately taken.
I think they did a really good job of conveying in the film why people were hypnotized or like his power on them.
Why?
The sound design in the movie was like excellent. There's the scene in the police or when he's in front of all the police sergeants, and after he breaks that one cop and the cop like kind of stumbles back and is like, oh, there's a kind of like an uproar, you know, and they have this profile shot with Mamiya and I believe Takabe, and Mamiya is kind of like leaning into him and kind of focusing on him, and all of a sudden all the other sounds drowned out of all the other officers, and all you hear is his voice. And it was things like that I just thought were like really, really excellently done to convey how he gets in your head.
Yeah, he has this ability to, he has this magnetism, this animal magnetism that just draws you in, and he's cute too.
Oh, he's just a cute boy.
He's a cutie. You look at him and go, he's very disarming.
He can't be bad.
Look how
he's
cute,
cute boy.
Cute he is.
Oh, it's a little hypnotism.
Oh, this guy. Look at my sultry little eyes.
Oh, is he gonna hypnotize me to kiss him on the lips?
What and would that be so bad?
Oh, oops.
If you could be hypnotized to kiss, to cheat on your wife, but you wouldn't remember doing it.
Honey, I was hypnotized. I swear.
I can't be held
I
responsible.
don't remember anything.
I wish I could be hypnotized to grind.
To grind?
I want someone to hypnotize me and wake up at 4 a.m., go to the gym, start a business.
Oh, I thought you meant like grind, like
7th
8th grade
grade
dancing.
Yeah. No.
Let's say, yeah, dude, you really want to learn how to grind? Okay.
No. Well, I guess, yeah, no. I want someone to hypnotize me and to become a hustle and grind bro. That way, because what if I make $1 million and I don't have to remember being an insufferable asshole while I was doing it?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like you can trick yourself into not remembering that terrible part of you that does all the things that your moral compass would prevent you from doing.
Yeah. That's also called just being a sociopath.
Yes. Except sociopaths, I don't think they like wake up from it and they're like...
No, they're aware the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this movie is freaking cheeks, bro. Sorry, that was right in front of me.
This movie is cheeks.
I think that's like a good thing to me.
To me too, yeah.
Dude, that was cheeks, man.
Oh, like clapping cheeks.
Yeah, clapping cheeks is like a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's why I didn't get it immediately.
Feels good, man.
That's why the terminology is moving fast. It's like we can't keep up with it anymore, man. I don't even know how to pronounce Wim Wenders. Freaking idiot.
You know the word. You know, I think what Kiyoshi Kurosawa was trying to say, that we live in a constant state of being open to suggestion. And let's take a look at even our phones. We're just constantly being hypnotized. What's hypnotized you today, Aaron? What suggestions have been planted in your brain? This movie's about the lamestream media, and it's about how the woke and the red-pilled and the black-pilled mind viruses are just sweeping through on the airwaves, and we're all just being open to suggestion. You know, maybe you'll start a fire to draw firefighters out and then pick them off one by one. Maybe you'll walk into Uvalde. Maybe you'll go and take a elevator up to the 33rd floor of a building in New York and kill the CEO of Blackstone. But that was an accident. You were really going for the NFL.
Do you think that he was ahead of his time and that like he was making a movie about all these ideas?
He knew this was coming.
This was pre-internet age. I mean, they shot it in 95. I think there might have been just like inklings of...
Right.
This is probably around when the Today Show, when that viral clip is... All the anchors are like, what is internet? Mm-hmm. You know, like that's the world that they lived in 95. Was a lot of people were just unaware of what was coming.
Yeah, and I don't think he knew, but I think he had a genius with him.
There was somebody linked a old clip of a Mark Maron special, and Mark Maron, when he's bashing the internet, it's so good.
There's 30 people out there.
There's 30. What are you gonna do? Yeah, yeah. He definitely. I think that it's one of those things that I don't think the purpose was what it is now. You know, it's clearly
Right. Yeah.
relatable today, but not
Yeah.
something he probably had the foresight to see how terrible it was gonna get. But
But he knew
if
the
we can,
darkness lingered. He knows the darkness lingers in us all.
it does. And so I would like to take this time to address all the listeners. FND Pod weekly, support the show. You can even mail in checks, cash.
I got to get the member. I just got to get. I got to turn the memberships on.
Vin just has not his just, you know, something about being unemployed and just prevents you from trying to make any means of money, I guess.
No, what I was waiting on was first off, I guess should we update people now about the Witch movie?
Yes.
I was waiting.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I was waiting to see if that was going to happen, because if that was going to happen and that was going to take up a bunch of our time, I didn't want to start having people trying to. Didn't want to ask for money then, and also I was just
Fair.
kind of waiting to see if I did get employed fully, because that
Fair.
might, that might.
You're right. You did have your reasons.
If we're going to ask people for money, Aaron, I want to make sure we can give them our all. I want to make sure there's a cadence and a rhythm we can keep up. So I was seeing how some cookies crumbled before I wanted to do that.
So an update that Vin's talking about, if you have not heard on previous episodes or didn't see any updates, we had a micro budget. The story of it goes, the whole story is that we raised money on, it's like I never know what people are aware of. We raised money for Meat Man. We raised a fraction of it. We had some people attached that wanted to finance it, and then the market went to crap. Market's actually doing much better now, but I think that the investors who are interested in funding films have maybe turned their interest elsewhere. And so we're trying to navigate that right now. And while we were doing it, we thought, oh, well, maybe we'll use our own money to shoot a micro budget film this year. And that was, as Vin mentioned, the witch film is called A Good Old Fashioned Witch Hunt. And we've just decided that it is not in our best interest to rush into a feature. We're rather focus on punching up scripts, doing everything we can to get Meat Man made. And so we are going to use the rest of the year just to do that. We're going to work on the pod. We're going to work on small projects and the films. I'm actively working on the perks for Meat Man, because I would like to get started on the FND compilation Blu-ray, and the shirts I think would be like fun ones to do.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, yeah, we just, it's like this weird thing where I think I so badly, and you guys, you and Coop, like we wanted so badly to create something, and it was definitely our mindset at the beginning of the year, like, oh, we're doing this, but when the chips just don't fall that way, then you're kind of like focused, it turns to like, okay, how can we make something happen? You have all this creative momentum, and it's just better to pause. I think it's better to pause.
And just to speak candidly, I just, if we were to rush into the witch film, it would have been, how are we, do we have enough money? Do we have enough time to get everything ready? Frankly, I don't feel, and for so long, we did everything we could to make the stuff we made and stressed about it and worked ourselves to like make stuff. I don't want to do that again. I want to go into something having the full confidence that the money's there. And I know things get made all the time with, we didn't know how it was going to happen and just pull together. That's great. I didn't want to go into this project with like, how are we going to do it? I want to know that we're able to do it and we can do it the way we want to, because it is some of it. First, it's not any of my money. It's like all other people's money. So it's like, I want to do right by other people's.
Yeah, we want the projects to be as good as they can.
Yeah.
So when we do end up making Meat Man, it's going to be, with our best effort and with everything we got. And so we'll keep you posted when that happens. But the money is sitting soundly in the bank, and we'll let you know about perks and all that stuff when we get stuff made.
In the meantime, you want to go ahead and just sign up for that membership there. Maybe should we do a Patreon?
Yes.
We'll sign up for give us some of your money.
You need a Zippo lighter like they have in Cure.
I know. All right,
man.
Well, this was fun.
This is good. I enjoyed that. Hey, leave in the comments if you want us to do films that are maybe under the radar. This, I think, got overshadowed. I think similar year or like the year after Audition came out, and there was one other film that I think Ring You, obviously, was pretty close. So
Onion Ringu.
So I think this got overshadowed. But man,
Onion Ringu takes place in a bowling alley, and it's about a little girl who got caught in the pin machine, the reset machine squashed her. And imagine
if you watch the TVs that show you the instant replay, if you watch all of them for an hour straight, then she'll come to you and deliver you a bloomin' onion.
Imagine
7 days later.
Imagine where the bowling ball comes through. It's like her head rolls up.
I think we got something here.
Yep.
All right, guys. This was episode 7-4 of FND Pod. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. We're going to be recording with Coop.
And when we talk,
if Coop stays true, come on, Coop. Let's put it into the world.
We're going to be talking about the film Weapons, so go and see it.
Go see Weapons.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.